Good morning, class. Welcome to this lecture. So we have already finished our theory, and after that, for this CSE2 subject, we have finished our theory, and we have also conducted the class test after each unit. We have conducted 2 unit tests. Then we have conducted 2 mock tests. Mock test, that is 60 marks MCQ based questions for 3 units, and then for next 3 units. So as such, we have done a lot of practice for theory exam. We have completed all our theories. We have taken a lot of test over it. So now it is time for us to go for the practicals. So the very first practical, it is a study practical. Here we have to just study. And what we have to study? We have to study the introduction to database management system. What is a database management system? That we have to study. Now we have seen these concepts in very depth and very detail in theory. Yet in practical point of view, we just have to study it. So we'll go through it. Now, how to submit the practical, how to perform the practical, or how to go for the submission, that I'll explain you with the following lectures. As I am going to get the instructions, I am going to explain it to, or I am going to inform it to you people. So the very first practical is Introduction to Database Management System, and that is the title. And what is the aim? To study the database management system. Now after learning this practical, what are the objectives of this learning? So to study what is database, then to study what is database management, to study the characteristics of database management systems. So these are the objectives. What we have to do? We have to study database, we have to study database management, and we have to study the characteristics. And what will be the learning outcomes? Learning outcome means कि after this particular practical of study, what you will be able to do after that. So what is the outcome? The outcome is, after studying this practical, the students are able to understand the importance, need, and characteristics of database. So what is the importance, need, and characteristics of database? That you will understand. And second, you will understand the database management system itself. So let us begin with the introduction. So what is basically a database? It is a collection of interrelated data. It is a collection of information that is organized so that it can be easily accessed, managed, and updated very fine. It is a set of data that has regular structure and that is organized in such a way that a computer can easily find the desired information. A database can be generally looked at as being a collection of records, each of which contains one or more fields, that is pieces of data about some entity. So we know the relation. It is collection of interrelated data, then information that is organized so that it can be accessed, managed, and updated. You store information to retrieve it, to access it, to update it, and to manage it. It is a set of data that has regular structure. There is a specific structure, and it is organized in such a way that you can easily find your information. It is a collection of record, entities, fields, objects, and so many things. Now that is data. Now what are the application of database? Banking, we already know, we have seen a lot about it. We have seen the different kinds of relationships. Core banking, net banking, loan, credit card, etc. Core banking, initially it was like that if you have account in SBI bank, then you have to go to the SBI bank to withdraw your money. Then came the concept of ATM. Then after that ATM, if you have a debit card of SBI bank, then you have to go to the ATM of SBI bank. Now then came the concept of core banking. Now in core banking, what happened? If you want to deposit an amount into ICICI bank and you are having your account in SBI bank and you have to deposit in ICICI bank, so you can do it from the SBI bank itself. So from there you can deposit. So that is called as core banking. All the branches, all the banks, they got a mix together. So that is called as core banking. From any bank to any bank, you can deposit, you can do anything from any to any. Now net banking, we already know. All this you can do at your place with the help of the internet on a laptop. That is known net banking. Nowadays it is phone banking. We are all much aware of it. Then loan, credit card, etc. So it is but obviously the application of database. Airlines, so ticket reservation, then scheduling. Now you must have heard it in your profession technology, forward and backward scheduling. So what is this forward and backward scheduling? In forward and backward scheduling, with the required target date, we schedule our process. If we have to deliver the target on 10th of a particular month, then in the previous month we will count will count back in reverse. Okay, so if you have to complete at 10, then what would be the process? Assembling should be done at 8, dispatch at 9, hence you can give delivery at 10. Then if assembly at 8, then final all production completed at 7. So all the pieces should be bought at a pace at 6, and so on. So thus you come to a specific date. So that is called as backward scheduling. Or forward scheduling, you decide a date, and likewise. So same ways for the reservation of airlines, you can do that. Now in universities, in manufacturing, human resource, telecommunications, so you can see there are so many applications of a database management system. In accounting, HR, sales, online shopping, then candidate, then human resources, interview schedule, salary, etc., etc. Then billing, call record, billing, customer, and network information. So you take any place, you talk about any application. In today's world, it is all being online. It is all being carried out with the help of internet. And wherever you are using this internet, you are basically using a database. You are using a database management system. It could be any management system, it could be any database, but you are using a specific database, and with that database you are performing all these operations. Because for all this, we have already seen, we require some tables to store this data, we require some methods to retrieve this data, we require certain commands to update, to alter this data, and there we have certain conditions. Based on that conditions, we can fetch that data. So all these things, so these are all the applications of database. Now what are the characteristics of database? So we have already seen the characteristics of database. Data redundancy and inconsistency is not possible in database. Redundancy, that means duplication of data, and inconsistency means that if you upgrade a data, it is upgraded at one place but it is not updated at another place, so that will be inconsistent. Suppose one teacher is teaching in two different departments, and when he leaves the organization, when we talk about a college database, let us take an example of a college database. In a college database, the administration department is storing the information of a teacher. Now he is teaching in two different departments, so his information is stored at two places. So that is data redundancy. So that is avoided in database. Now second, if his information is stored at two places and there is certain change, if he leaves the institution, then from one place the information is deleted from one department, but for any reason, maybe negligence, maybe not understanding, maybe lack of time, or maybe whatever it is, uncertain reason, any reason, the data from another place is not deleted. So that database will become inconsistent. So that is called as inconsistency, and same applies for updating the data and so on. Then no difficulty in accessing data. You can easily access that. Data isolation not permitted. Data isolation means you must be available to all the things. I'll tell you one thing. When we talk about the train ticket reservation, so when you book one ticket, then you enter into that. So till the time you complete your booking, if there is only one seat left, till the time that seat is not given to anyone else, and just when you leave out, so at that time it is only allowed. It is only allowed that the next person should get the ticket. So that is data isolation. So that is permitted in the very specific applications. Now integrity problems are solved. Then atomicity, we have already seen that what do you mean by atomicity, what do you mean by integrity. Then we have seen concurrent access anomalies. We have already seen a lot of concurrent access anomalies. I have told you that is one normalization form, two normalization form, three normalization. So what are the anomalies? If you update the data, then how you will be able to retrieve that? So we have seen the normal form, 1 NF, 2 NF, 3 NF, 4 NF, BCNF, 5 NF, and 6 NF. These are the different normal forms. So the data has to be atomicity, that means the data must not be, attributes must not be breakable further, and all those things. Security problem, that is authentication and authorization. We have also seen that who is authenticated, and we have also seen what is the difference between authentication and authorization. You are authenticated, that means okay, you are a particular user. Now your authenticity is fluid, but you can have a limited authority. Okay, you can log into database, but you cannot do this much operations. You cannot do specific more than the required number of operations given. So these are the different characteristics of database. Now types of database. Relational database, we have studied a lot about DBMS, that is database manufacturing system. Relational database. Relations mean table. Here the data is stored in the form of tables. Then operational database, real-time database, like example railway reservation system. It is a runtime dynamic database because you are continuously performing the confirmation of the ticket, the booking of the ticket, the deleting, the cancelling of the ticket, and so many things. So that is going on runtime. So that is the example of real-time database, that is operational. Then database warehouses. Database warehouses means there are systems, there is a huge amount of data. So when we say about the data of the Aadhaar card of the entire population of India, so that would be a very huge data, and along with Aadhaar card they are storing so many information, images, your signature, then your fingerprints, then your name, address, telephone number, and so many things. So this kind of data, where a large amount of data is called, that is they are called as database warehouses. Then distributed databases. So one data, it is distributed at different centers. So at different centers you can have different data. We have already seen an example for this. So these are the distributed database. That is, there is one data at the main server, but it is for the sake of convenience, it is being distributed at certain different places. Then end user database. End user database, that means application filing or opening of accounts. When you are trying to open email, a Rediffmail account, any email account, you are trying to open a Facebook account, or you are trying to fill a specific application form. So that is directly end user application. You will be having the accessibility only wherein you can fill the certain forms, you can provide certain information, and then your account will be open or your form will be accepted. So that is end user. Now these are the different things we have studied in this practical. So for this we do not require any kind of software. So we have written software or equipment details are not required, because this being a very study. Then simulation model programming, it is not required, and there are no sample calculations. So now you understand what is the concept of the practical, or what is the schema. First it should be the title. What is the title? Then what is the aim? Then objectives. Aim is different from the objectives, title is different from the aim, and then what are the outcomes, and then what is actually that particular practical. So we are going through this thing, and along with it, what are the software required. So here no software required. If this had been, agar ye suppose physical hota tha, if it had been a physical teaching, then in that case you were supposed to, you will have to write this. You were supposed to write all those things, and you have to in your own words. That means you have to in your own handwriting, you are supposed to write all this and submit it. But now this being an online thing, so you will directly have to submit the manual. But there are some things that pre-lab, post-lab, I'll tell you later what needs to be done for it. So software required, there is no software required. Then observation table, there is no observation table, and there are no calculations in this. Now what is the output or result or analysis? So pre-lab questions with model answers. Pre-lab questions means you must know what is database. A database is a set of data that has a regular structure and is organized in a way that computer can easily find information. What is DBMS? It is collection of interrelated data and set of computer programs to access the data stored in database. What are the different types of databases? Relational databases, DBMS, operational databases, railway reasoning systems. So these are the different kinds of databases. Now after studying all this, you understand what is the need of database. Now these are the post-lab questions. So you would be able to, you must be able to answer these things after studying this particular study practical. What is the need of database? So they can store very large number of records efficiently, and they take up very little space. It is very quick and easy to find information. Very quickly and very easily you can find the information. It is easy to edit, delete, add, update. That means you can easily update a particular database. You can easily add, you can easily delete, or you can easily update a particular information. Data can be searched easily. Example, find all Ford cars. So data, you can search that data very easily. Then data can be sorted easily. For example, into date first registered order. Suppose if you want to find the data, you have to sort it by date, you have to sort it by alphabet, you have to sort it by suppose certain number, you have to sort it by the space. So by everything you can sort it easily. That can be easily sorted, which as per the requirement, it can be easily sorted by any of the parameter. It can be imported into applications. So due to mail merger, you can directly there are certain things. Likewise, suppose there is a huge data, you can directly merge it into a particular application, and then you can use it. More than one person can access the same data at multi cases, same time, multiple access. The same data that can be accessed by multiple users. So that is a very big advantage. Now these are the various advantages or the needs. And security, and security is 1000 times better than in a paper file. So that is, but obviously security is a lot much better. So these are the different need. That is why database is required. Then what are the characteristics? It is self-describing. There is insulation between program, support for multiple use, sharing of data, multi-use system, control of data redundancy, data sharing, enforcement of integrity constraints, and restriction of unauthorized access. If suppose data stored is in a file, someone can access it, but here you have to give your login ID, your password, and so many credentials. So data here is completely safe. And even if you enter that particular database, then there are certain authorities that has been granted, and based on that authorities only you can perform operations like deleting, editing, or updating the data in a table, in a database. So authorization is, so security is very complete. So unauthorized access is completely stopped. There is restriction, complete restriction. Now what is relational database? It is relation, that is tables having different names. There are different names, there are specific relations between them. So these are the post lab questions. You must be able to understand that. Now the final conclusion after this practical is, we have understand the need, the characteristics, the types and use of databases is studied. We have studied what is the use of database, what are the different types of database, what are the characteristics of database, and what is the need of database. So this is all we have studied. Now if this would have been a physical practical on your test lab, pre-lab test lab, then your performance, then post lab, then record. So I would have given you 15 marks out of this entire things based on your specific performances. Now let us go for the next practical, that is second practical, practical number 2.